Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly. Well, welcome back to the DCL podcast, your podcast to help you and your family cruise a little bit smarter. And today, Dad is away, so Christy and Christy get to play because Steve isn't here. It's just me and Christy, and we're going to talk about our favorite thing. What are we talking about, Christy?
Disney fairy tale weddings.
Oh my goodness. And we sort of have a celebrity on the show, the star of episode 7 of season 2, all the way from Puerto Rico. We have Glorian. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
We are so excited to talk about this today. It is not every day that we get to talk about fairy tale weddings that happen on a Disney cruise ship, but it's one of our favorite topics. So, Glorian, we want to just sort of dive in first and talk a little bit about what your Disney history is. We want to hear how you and your family have connected to Disney, especially the Disney Cruise Line.
My family is a Disney family. We really enjoy all the movies. We've been to the park several times. And previously to this, we've been to the Disney cruise 2 times. We went to the Disney Dream and we went to the Disney Magic. And they got us hooked up on our first trip. We were like, yeah, this is our main vacation spot for us. So yeah, we just really are a very Disney family.
Oh, that's so great. Let our listeners know, so you did a vow renewal on Disney Cruise Line with you and your husband. When did that occur?
My husband Omar and I have been married for the show for 13 years. I wanted to surprise him with the vow renewal ceremony. I just wanted to surprise him and have something nice for him. He's such a wonderful husband. So I wanted to merge the things that make us a great family, and which better way to celebrate our vow renewal than on the Disney cruise with the Disney fairy tale wedding. So I was very excited about that.
I can't think of anything better either. I feel like that's got to be so fun and so special. And you sort of get to be like celebrities on the ship because everyone else is just there for vacation, but you're there for like a really special reason. And we should acknowledge that this wedding was probably a little different than a normal Disney fairy tale wedding because there was a film crew there the whole time for the episode. So did you feel like a celebrity?
I did. I felt like an actress or something
like Meryl Streep's on the ship, everybody.
Yes. So I was like, hi, hello, everyone. Yes, I'm getting married. And I have a film crew with me all the time. Even though we had the film crew with us, it was still magic. It was still with the Disney magic touch, everything. Like, I couldn't ask for a better vow renewal ceremony.
When was the cruise again?
It was in May 2019, actually.
Okay. And you went on the 4-night on the Disney Dream.
We went to the Bahamas and Castaway Cay.
And did Disney, because it was part of Fairy Tale Weddings, did they pick your cruise cabin?
Yes, they did. They picked the veranda cabin. It was our first time in a veranda suite. So we were very excited about that. And we had the champagne and the strawberries and the chocolate and everything. Like, it was so nice. From there, now every cruise we've been has to be a veranda. Like, we cannot go back to an inside cabin. Although I missed the porthole.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. I remember the first time we saw that, I was every time watching it, just waiting for Tinkerbell or Dumbo to appear on the on the porthole.
Yeah, the magic porthole on the deluxe inside staterooms. Those are so fun. Yeah, the Dream and the Fantasy, which is so fun. Okay, so who went with you? Obviously, Omar came because you were doing a vow renewal with Omar. So who else was on the cruise with you?
So my 2 kids, Gianna, I think she was 8 or 9. I can't remember. It was 2019. So yeah. And Lucas, he was 2 years old during that time.
He was tall for 2.
Yes, he is tall. He's very tall. Yeah. He's his tallest on the class.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't believe he's only 2 years old.
My best friend Laura with her husband, Jorge, and her kid, Jorge David. Also, one of my best friends, Ivan, with my godson, Ian. And my brother-in-law, Alex, with his family, Wilma, his wife, and their kids.
Oh my goodness. Did Disney sort of arrange for everyone to travel together?
Yes, since it was a surprise, they helped us with all the arrangements so everyone could get to the cruise ship and to Orlando as well. So I didn't have to worry about that detail.
Yeah,
you don't need extra stress during your vow renewal.
Surprise vow renewal even. So
I was already stressed trying to have my full-time job, be a mom, and
pull off a surprise.
Plan the whole surprise, and they didn't know about this. So yeah, it was, the last weeks were very, very stressful for me.
How far in advance did you know that you were going on the cruise?
Well, I started the process, I would say January, February.
Okay.
And I found out like a month before.
Oh my God.
It was very fast. Yeah.
And then we watched the episode, and in the episode, you then tell your family that you are surprising them, like you won a trip on Disney Cruise Line. When did that occur in relation to the cruise?
Well, we left for Orlando on Sunday, and I told them Friday night before. Yeah.
You had everything ready, either in secret or in that short amount of time?
Yeah. I'm telling you, it was very stressful. Sometimes I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But all for the surprise, all for the drama.
You are Wonder Woman, amazing wife and mother, pulling this off. I am thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, it was very difficult, but sometimes it was stressful, but it was mainly fun. I was just to surprise them. I love to surprise them. It's something that I actually usually do, try to surprise them with stuff. So this was the ultimate surprise for them. I was like, okay, I can retire now. No more surprises. Yeah, I'm out.
Since you flew all the way to Orlando, did you do any Disney World time after the cruise?
No, because we came back on that Friday.
Okay.
And then I had the day off Saturday. And then the crew came to Puerto Rico to film us here at home.
Yeah, so you had to stay busy.
Yes. I was trying to maybe do something, but no time. And I had to come back to work as well. So
yeah, of course. You had to be an adult. Well, at least you got to live out a little fairy tale dream. So can you walk us through a little bit about where the vow renewal ceremony was? I know most people who see this will be able to just go watch your episode on Disney Plus, but I'm sort of curious, you ended up on the island. So how did that location come about? Was it like your dream location, or what were your thoughts there?
As I mentioned, we were on the Disney cruise twice before. So I fell in love with Castaway Cay. I just loved like how clean everything is and how everything is organized, and the sand is so clean and the water is so crystal clear that I think it was very in tune with our family. Being from Puerto Rico, have the vow renewal in Castaway Cay. So I was very excited when I got to have the ceremony there, all the flowers and the decorations. It was so pretty and so colorful. We are very We like to party. On the show, you couldn't hear when I came in for the ceremony. We had our song. It's in Spanish. But then when we came out, they played "You Have a Friend in Me" from Toy Story, but the flamenco version, like from Spain. Yeah. So that was so super fun. We were dancing all the way out of the ceremony. So I had the chance to have my makeup and my hair and all the dress with Gianna. We went to the spa, the Senses Spa. So that was super, very nice. They treated us like queens with all the bridal, my best friend and my sister-in-law as well. We had our nails done, we had our hair done, we had our makeup. They took us on the golf court from where you disembark the cruise to the location where the ceremony was taking place. So I didn't have to walk all the way on my heels. Then they arranged a cabana for us as well. That was the first time for us to have a cabana there. So that was super, very nice after the ceremony. And then we had the surprise with Vicky and Minnie on the beach. We took pictures. They were with us, and the whole wedding party was with us as well. So it was very nice, and the temperature was perfect. It wasn't too hot or it wasn't too cold. It was just perfect. It was so nice. I wish I could go back.
Well, one cool thing about getting married on Castaway Cay and knowing that it's a place that you love is that you probably will go back there a lot in your life.
Yes.
Which is really fun. We sailed on an Eastern Caribbean cruise that stopped in San Juan, and it was so beautiful. Yeah, we loved it. And I've also known that in the past, Disney has sailed out of San Juan, which would be super convenient for you. Is that the Magic sailing you went on?
Yes. On February 2020, we had the chance to take the cruise from Puerto Rico, the Wonder, to New Orleans. That was the inaugural sailing trip for the relocation.
Oh, so you didn't, it wasn't round trip. It was a one-way from San Juan to, now that you say that, I was in San Juan in February of 2020. That was the last cruise. Yeah, that's the last cruise we took, but it wasn't the Magic. It was on the Fantasy. They went and stopped.
No, that was the Wonder. The New Orleans one was the Wonder because yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. So yeah, when we sailed through San Juan, we ended up on the Fantasy and it stopped there. And it was beautiful. We have this sculpted door because all the doors in San Juan are so colorful. So that was our souvenir that we got at a little bookshop near the port. So that was really fun.
Yes. And actually every November, they use San Juan as a relocation port from the Magic goes from New York down to San Juan, and then it continues their trip. Yeah. So I'm usually on the lookout for those kinds of trips because I have to go to the Bay and go see my Disney cruise and go I wish I was there, and we wave goodbye. And it's like an event in our family. We have to go back to Old San Juan to the Bay to see the Disney cruise.
Yeah. Well, it's an iconic sail away. Yes. We loved sailing out of San Juan because you sail past the fort and it's so beautiful. And it makes you feel like you're an old-timey sailor, but on a brand new ship.
I usually imagine the pirates and stuff.
Exactly. It really fits the theme.
Yes. And it's so pretty, the horns, you can hear them all in Old San Juan. So little tear every time.
We can totally imagine.
Back to your wedding or your vow renewal. One of the cool things that happened was you got your wedding ring replaced because you had lost your wedding ring previously, and that looked like a beautiful wedding ring. That was a surprise for you?
Yes, it was. It was. I didn't imagine that I was going to get a ring there. So I lost my wedding ring when I was pregnant with Gianna. My fingers were all swollen and I took it out and I never saw it again. Yeah, one of the things that happened to us during pregnancy. Mm-hmm. Remember that I put it on my back pocket and never saw it again. So I was really surprised that Omar took the initiative to have this surprise for me on the ship. So I was very surprised, but very happy because now I have a ring. Yay!
And it's a beautiful ring.
Yes.
Why don't we go through your wedding day a little bit? What did that look like? Like, what time did it start? What time did you get to the island? I also have a question about the cabana because, our listeners know that I love me a cabana when I have an opportunity to sail in one. So let's start at the beginning. What time did hair and makeup start?
Well, I think the call was for 5:00 in the morning. Yeah, very early, 5 or 6, something like that. We had to go for the Senses Spa, meet there with the bridal party and have our makeup and our hair and our nails. We even had mimosas. We even had mimosas while we were there at the spa. So it was very, very fun. And I had the chance to connect with Gianna. Lucas was with Omar back at the cabin. Us girls had a chance to connect there at the spa. So that was very nice. And then we went back to, how do you say the place where you go off the ship?
The gangway?
Yeah, the gangway. Okay. So then we went to the gangway and they took us on a golf cart through the island so we didn't have to walk on our heels and our dresses.
Did you and Omar see each other yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. I was very excited because I didn't see Omar or Lucas during the whole day. So,
you know what, though? Hold on. Before we even talk more about the wedding, I want to go back in time just a second, because on the show, they had you entering the ship, doing like the name calling where they call out your family name. And then you told your husband that you were doing a vow renewal. So I know some stuff is TV and some stuff is real life. Did that happen in real life?
It was real life.
Okay.
I can tell you, confirmed that was real life. And he really thought that we were just having some pictures taken and some video because we were the winners of the contest.
You had such a burden. You had to keep such a big secret. I don't think I could. Listeners of our show will know I once tried to surprise Seth with a cruise and it failed fantastically because he checked the mail and saw the you're going on a cruise mail. And he was like, excuse me?
But it was a lovely sentiment.
It was a good sentiment, yes. But you actually executed it. You literally got on the ship without Omar knowing that there was going to be a vow renewal. That is wild.
There was one time that I told him, just go with the flow. Anything that happens, just go with the flow. And he was like, okay. He's very laid back. He's like, okay, whatever. You handle it. That's okay. So when they announced us on
the gangway again, it's still the gangway.
No, the lobby. Oh. No, we were talking about the lobby, but it's not the lobby.
Oh, the atrium.
Oh, the atrium. Okay. So when we got to the atrium and they announced the family, welcome to the Disney cruise. And we were like, yay. I knew it was my cue to ask him if he wanted to get married with me again. Thankfully, he said yes. I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't start asking questions. I told him, just go with the flow.
I love this. And when did that occur? So were you guys the first family on the cruise or were you the last family on the cruise?
Yes, we were the last family on the cruise. So we got to hang out a lot on the terminal of the cruise that day. We had our pennies pressed.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. To take lots of pictures in front of the ship.
I remember
frame it as a positive.
Yes, actually. So it was very fun. I was prepared just to, again, go with the flow, enjoy this opportunity and enjoy this amazing experience that I was going to have. So no worries from me.
Where did Disney have you stay the night before?
We stayed, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was in Port Canaveral. What do you say? Canaveral. Okay. In Port Canaveral, we stayed in one of the hotels. So
somewhere close to the ship. It was fun.
Yes.
And was the whole extended family and friends at that hotel too?
No, they were in another one because
secret,
right?
Yes.
Didn't want you guys to run in. Oh my God, this is exciting.
Okay, so your family was at a different hotel and Omar didn't know that they were there. So what moment did Omar realize, wait a minute, everybody's here and it's a vow renewal? Like, did that all happen at the same time or what was that like?
When we got to the atrium and I asked him if he wanted to get married with me again, thankfully he said yes. Then I had the surprise where I can show him that our family was there and our friends were there with us. And he was so surprised. I think he was even more surprised that I got our family there as well. So he was a very happy man that day. Yes, because we got the chance to share this wonderful vacation that we had before. Once we took those cruises, we just came back and we were like, oh my God, you guys have to go to the Disney cruise. It's the best vacation ever. You have to go. So now we got the chance to share that with them their first time as well. So it was a win-win for us.
Now your whole family's hooked on Disney cruises.
Yes.
Well, and that's cool because I don't think they showed us the moment when Omar saw that your family was there in the show, did they?
The brother, Omar's brother, when they set.
Actually, when I told him, I asked him if he wanted to get married with me again, and he said yes. Yay! We celebrated, and then I told him. So I wanted I can't remember what I said, but I said something along the lines of, I wanted to have our friends with us during this special time. And I showed him they were on
the balcony.
Yes, they were on the balcony waiting for us. They saw everything.
I love
that was happening. Yes. Then they took the stairs down and we got a little party there, celebration.
That's amazing. Okay, so was there anything else on that first day wedding related, or pretty much the wedding stuff didn't happen until you got to Castaway?
For the wedding, yeah. We got married on Castaway Cay on the Wednesday.
And there wasn't any other wedding related activities besides them filming certain times, but was there anything else wedding related that you had to do before Wednesday?
So we had dinner at Animator's Palette, and it was so amazing to see all the kids surprised with Crush. So it was very, very nice. We got the chance to be at the pool as well and enjoy the aqueduct. So it was very nice. It was very nice.
Yeah, since you were there with Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, you didn't have to wait in line for the aqueduct, did you?
Or no.
You had a special line to get into. Listeners, this is what we have to do, apparently. If we want to not wait in that 5-minute line for the aqueduct, we just need to have a wedding. Oh, a Disney Fairy Tale wedding that they put together, because that's the key. Because they don't block that slide for every wedding. Good for you. Just the ones they film. That is fantastic. I love it so much. Okay. So they did some pool time. Was there anything else like pre-Castaway Day related to the wedding? They probably did a rehearsal with you or something. No. Wow. Okay.
No rehearsal. All right.
No,
they trusted you.
With the flow. Yes.
I love that. I don't know that Chris and I could go with the flow very well. I mean, Chris probably would do better than I would. I would have a real hard time with going with the flow. I'd be like, but what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to stand? What are we supposed to say?
What are we going to eat? Will it be gluten-free? Are there bananas?
Yeah, so we have our allergies.
We would be addressing our allergy concerns. But, on the one hand, it's fun to plan a wedding and to get to make it yours. On the other hand, it's stressful. And I would so actually we did this for our wedding. When Seth and I got married, we had our friend who's a wedding planner. We said, here's the budget, do whatever you want. And we'll show up that day. And we showed up that day and didn't know what anything was going to be. And it was perfect. So we had our own Disney fairy tale wedding, but it was not on a cruise ship or even related to Disney in any way. But I can relate to not having to know what's happening and the peace that comes with that, because we were not stressed that day at all.
Okay, listeners, I have a question for you all. Please respond on this post on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Do you want to hear Chris's wedding day story, since he didn't plan any of it and his friend did? I know I am a yes. Please respond if you want a yes to that story or no. Okay, love is in the air. So we are back to Castaway. We have gotten off the ship and we have been taken over via golf cart. And did Omar get taken over by golf cart as well?
I think so. I imagine. Like, I don't know about that detail because
you were very
busy. Yes. I imagine that he did as well.
That makes sense. You guys, It looked like the location of your wedding vow renewal was in front of that bar. Is that where you were, like Outlook something or something like that it's called? Maybe not Outlook something, but whatever. Yes. There's like a bar over there. Okay.
Yes. I thought they were going to do it on the deck, but they told me, no, we're going to do it on that spot near the bar.
Pelican Point.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, Pelican Point. Never have I ever been there, but I know what it is because Seth one time almost drowned while snorkeling and swam hard for that spot because he was panicking and didn't know what to do.
Oh, no.
He just got tired. Everybody should be warned that if you go out there, make sure you're a strong swimmer because you're really far from the ocean,
really
from the
far.
shore. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave and I stumbled upon that spot on one of our cruises this past fall. Blake was in the kids club and I was just like, I want to see, I feel like my whole Castaway days have been very like we're either at a cabana or we're just at the family beach. And then when Blake was a baby, we were smaller. We were at that little splash pad in the back, but we didn't like really look around at all the different little nooks and crannies. So we did stumble upon that little beach and I'm like, oh, this is exactly where all those weddings are taking place. Cause you can like see how it would like make sense that a wedding would be located there. Okay. Did Disney ask you prior to the wedding, like what your favorite colors were or flowers and did you have a say over, because your wedding, your vow renewal location was so beautifully decorated and there were flowers. So did they ask you about what you would like or did they do it all themselves?
Yes, they asked me like what kind of wedding that I wanted. Like I remember that I told him that I wanted like a bohemian theme, beachy, of course, wedding, very relaxed. I remember that I usually told them I already had the princessy wedding at the church, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to repeat that. I want something different. I gave them like a palette of colors that I might be interested, but I was like, so I could use these colors, but if they don't go with what you're thinking, I'm okay with it. So I had the same mentality as Chris. I just want to go with the flow. I don't want to worry about that. They asked us about they asked me about the songs that we wanted to hear on the ceremony. They also asked me if we wanted to have like a Spanish or an English ceremony. So we had both.
That's good. I mean, and it should be like you both should be able to communicate in the language that you typically communicate in at your vow renewal. So
yes.
I'm really glad that they did that. So did they tell you ahead of time like what their color scheme was going to be?
Yeah, but it was like a very general thing. I didn't have details of the hats that they hang there and the chairs and the kind of flowers that they were going to use. When I walked to Omar, I was looking at every detail. I was like, oh my God, this is so pretty. And all the Mickey details that they incorporated, it was magic.
The hidden Mickeys are the best.
Yes.
Okay, so you had your beautiful vow renewal at the Pelican Point, and then then what happened? Did they say, oh, we have another surprise for you? Or
so actually, and I forgot to mention, we also had the ship as a backdrop for the wedding. So yes. It was so pretty. Yes. And it was magical as well. So it was very pretty. So after the ceremony, we had the chance to go to the cabanas. I didn't have details of what we're going to do. They told me, okay, we're going to go there. And I went there with all our family and friends. It was our first time in a cabana. I was so surprised. It was so pretty. It was so comfortable. And we had like refreshments and snacks to have while they were setting everything up. And then they surprised us with the dessert party on the beach. With all the cupcakes and the candy bars, and they had the sandcastle.
Oh yeah,
of the cruise. So that was so pretty, and the cupcakes were great.
That's good that they were great because they looked cute, but sometimes cute does not translate into tasty. So that is great.
The only thing was that the color of the frosting. Yeah, Lucas chose blue, and he had blue all over his mouth and his teeth and his shirt. And
I knew that. I was watching it again, and I was like, "Oh, that cupcake is going to be all over that kid's clothes, all over."
That was one time that I was like,
"Yes,
let him have cake." Yeah, I'm not going to stress with that. And he also wanted to go on the beach with his whole wedding
suit.
Yeah, so he went to the water. He got all wet. I was like, yeah, we just have to flow.
Oh my God, that's still so adorable. So this was another question I had. Were there cabanas, like the cabanas that were around yours? They gave you number 17 per the video, whether they did or not, I don't know. But were the cabanas around yours in use?
Yes. And actually, they were very aware. They didn't want to affect the guest experience while on Castaway Cay or the Disney cruise. So they were very aware of that, and they didn't want to affect their experience. So it was very nice and a very nice touch. I remember when we were doing a photo shoot, and we asked a guest if they could move, and he said no, and he's on my pictures. He's reading on my pictures, like you can see him.
I have some not choice words for that guest, mister. If you are that guest and listening to this podcast, that was not very nice. Because I understand not wanting to ruin someone's guest experience, but honestly, a person can pick up their little chair and book and read 15 feet over from where they're reading and still have a lovely time. And I'm all for like being respectful of the people around me. And so, yeah, I still think you can enjoy your book 15 feet over from where you were. Okay. So, but I have one quick question. Did you guys stay in the island the normal time, or did it go later?
Yeah, we stayed all the day on Castaway Cay. We got the chance to get in the water with our wedding attire. So that was very fun. And then we came back to the cruise ship.
One thing that the show showed us that I thought was so cool is that you got your own little private concert back on the ship. Is that sort of something that you had any idea that was going to happen? Or were you literally like, what? And also important, did you know that Twitch was on the ship?
That day, we got our hair and makeup on the champagne bar. Is that the big bar? Mm-hmm. That was so cute because that was the first time that I went to that bar. So I was in awe of how beautiful that bar was. So then they took us to the pool deck. They covered our eyes. Like, okay, you cannot see. You're just going to walk this way and wait there. I was just trying to have the best surprise. So I closed my eyes. And then when Twitch and Allison came out, I was, oh my God, they're at my wedding. What's happening? And then they showed us our pictures, and
beautiful pictures, gorgeous pictures.
And just to see myself on the big TV.
On the funnel vision. You were on the funnel vision.
I was on the funnel vision, and that was so fun. And I was like, there's me and there's my family. The pictures were so beautiful. And then I literally didn't know that they were going to bring Pedro Capo to our wedding. And he looked so cute, right?
Yeah.
The suit. I fell in love with the suit. It was so fun, and there were dancers as well, so it was very fun. We danced
and cried,
and cried a bit.
I would have.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, it was so special to watch. I feel like if you are our listener and you happen to have Disney Plus, which I'm assuming you have, if you listen to this podcast, then go watch season 2, episode 7 of Disney's Fairy Tale Weddings. It's absolutely so beautiful to see this special gift that your family got. It was just, I loved it. It warmed my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Pedro Capo, right? Capo?
Yes. Capo.
Did you guys get to talk to him briefly after or anything like that?
Yes, we had a chance to take pictures with him.
Aww.
And have a little time with him as well. And he invited us, because the wedding was in May. In September, he had a concert back in Puerto Rico. So he invited us as guests to his concert. So we got a chance to see him again at the concert here in the island. So that was very, very fun.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that little, extra moment. Your wedding got to keep going.
Yes. And he remembered us because we had a chance to meet and greet. So he remembered us from the show. So it was so much fun. Our first time backstage in a concert, because we have kids. It's not that usual that we go to concerts.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Oh my God. Oh, Glorian, thank you so much for coming on tonight to share this with us. I love talking to you the first time that we talked like a year ago to discuss coming on the show. And again, this conversation is just so magical. I loved getting your experience. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for spending this time with us. And, best wishes to you and your family. You guys are so adorable. And then to our listeners again, definitely watch season 2, episode 7 of Disney's Fairy Tale Wedding, especially after listening to this, because it'll just be so fun to put it all together.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had so much fun reliving our experience and what we went through. So it was magical. So I hope you guys enjoy the show as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting literally millions of people meet your family on that show on Disney Plus, because if you had not agreed to go on and have your fairy tale wedding filmed, we would never have met you. So
I know. So special.
Yeah, it's so special. Well, thanks for coming on, and we will definitely have you back after you go on your next Disney cruise. And we'll just have sort of like a normal trip show report, where we just do a trip report.
Yes, please.
Oh, love it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The DCL podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.